Hey there, everybody. Welcome to my final match of the regular season in League with JNails. Depending on how this goes, I guess I could be at risk of demotion or I could be in a good spot to make the championship. In the extremes, anyway. So, take a look at the board. It's no village. And no particularly good trashing. So you probably need apothecary. And then some nice stuff for apothecary, well, innkeeper in particular. And then you probably play, you probably play replace as your terminal, and then you have some governors. You could think about doing bridge troll as your terminal, but I think replace is probably just a little bit better here. Maybe more than a little bit, but we're going to do Oasis Potion. I think the 5-2 is not terrible. You can do the replace. I don't know. We may get a chance to windfall here. This game somewhere. Though you have to balance that against just buying another governor. But it certainly isn't unreasonable here. I guess I'd take another Oasis. I mean, they're just better in silvers and they can still be remodeled, so. Probably next 2P you take, even if you have 5P, you probably take potion here still, or not potion, apothecary still here, and then next time you probably go ahead and swap to a replace. The next time you hit 5. This is a little unfortunate, but I mean, obviously the start of the shuffle was quite good, so. Yeah, I see this looks like a pretty easy replace to me for JNails. Though again, you can do bridge. I mean, if you play bridge trolls as your terminal, you get more gains. Because you can play 2 and have the have the 2 buy, or you can get up to the 3 buys. But well, the downside is that you don't do any of the attacking and you don't remove the estates. So certainly not. That was a pretty bad apothecary reveal. It's certainly not obvious to me that it's bridge troll. But I can believe it. So I just gotta think which of the 2 I want to do. I think I'm gonna try the replace. It could be wrong. They'd opt to not take an Oasis, which I think is fine. My draw here has not been super great on some of them. I mean, just there's some likelihood of being, because I had Oasis and Apothecary, there was a reasonably good shot that I reveal a Apo and can draw it, but did not work out. I assume this is a governor for JNails, though I guess they could just go straight to provincing. I wouldn't do that, but goal here would either be to replace Oasis into governor, or just do replace a state into trying to pull some more of this out here. Just replace a state or Oasis into governor, or a state into innkeeper, but we'll just do this to Oasis. Man, well, I mean, I drew a lot with the apothecary. You would just like to actually see, like, this is just a really bad draw. I don't know how else to describe it. Fairly bad anyway. I mean, it's workable. We'll try to make it work. We could lose the potion now. It would have been crazy nice to have the potion in hand earlier when they did the remodel. I guess that's something in favor of keeping it. I don't know if it's necessarily good enough. I mean, the innkeeper is very, very good, so. I still had a pretty rotten shuffle, though, all things considered. I guess I don't. I mean, it would have been nicer to, of course, use the governor for remodel rather than draw. Could have just taken gold. So there's still a window here where the silvers are fairly useful as remodel fuel. And unfortunately, they have a little better use for silver than I do because of the buys. So, I'm probably lost here. I think they're going to discard potion instead. Yeah, it may not matter. I can go up to governor with the innkeeper, or I can go up to. I think we probably have to play a little more aggressively and go up to this. That was really nice. Fortunately, this probably will let them get a governor. No? Okay. Well, that at least was a nice break. I know my last card is. I don't think I want to leave whatever it is on top, so. You draw them a lot of cards. We're gonna get to that awkward. Maybe I should. Well, that's the potion still works. I do wish I had an innkeeper, but it is what it is. So if they like triple province, I guess I'm probably just lost if they just triple province, and as long as they draw the next turn. Well, triple I guess it can't possibly be safe, but interesting. I was thinking the bridge. I mean, of course, there's more gains than just whatever the bridge troll provides. Is it worth it to get an innkeeper? It's kind of hard for me to use it. Though at the same time, the Oasis is also not. I mean, let's say they're probably not lowering that far on their turn. I don't know. There's no world where I get a turn beyond my next one, I don't think so. Well, that's the question is, do I have to play for that happening where I hope I don't have to draw much with governor? That's not really realistic. Unfortunately, I don't have innkeepers, and innkeepers are super great here. Oh, it's a pile out. I just didn't see the pile out at all. Well, okay. that is a thing. I couldn't have done anything about it. I didn't have a points scoring remodel. So that wasn't something I could protect against there, but I didn't actually notice that at all. I could have obviously not emptied the governors. That would have been the thing to do. But I honestly didn't. Well, clearly. I did not consider that. All right. Well, we have the enhanced curse gold stuff. I don't know what else is going on here. I guess groundskeeper. Probably open hermit, enhance into Puka. There's not a lot of gainy stuff is just like gets, Village, Sacred Grove, and some draw. I guess Plaza Marquee does some stuff. You can have the Curse Gold in a 2-hand, I get, in the quote 2-5. It's a 4-5, but if you have it with just 1 copper, or just 2 coppers, that's pretty bad. Yeah, you can have it in different splits that are not favorable to you. I have the good one, so yay me. It's not. JNails also has the good one. It's not like the worst thing ever with Hermit, because you can probably trash the curse. It just makes your reshuffle a little worse. Depending on, I guess, how you feel about keeping a Cursed Gold in your deck as well. I guess the other question is whether you enhance it to Marquee or to Puka. I don't know. I'm going to do Puka, I think. Though there is a little bit of an awkward phase where the Puka Hermit are going to collide a reasonable. So JNails just goes for buying it. I don't think I agree. Oh, he has the. He probably just had the play. I'm a little curious about the order here for me, because it could be that you do something like Hunter first and just try to trash the estates before you, and like buy a Plaza before you add in the Puka. I don't know. I can believe it. I do hate Hunter though. And I'm gonna trash. I guess eventually you might get distant lands, so maybe it's okay, but. I don't know, would they get a Puka now or not? Or they get something else? You want a lot of fair amount of plazas here. When did they got the Marquee? Okay. Not exactly what you want to draw. Let's think. I could just buy the Puka now. I'm gonna play Madman next turn. If you can get an extra... There's some kind of nice enhanced trick madman stuff you can do here. I can't really do it now, though. I don't think. I do think the Puka is pretty good. They probably get to do some nice stuff here. I didn't look too long at it. I don't know that I had the actions for it, but there may have been a world where I could have played chained hermits. Potentially. Not sure. Like they're getting to chain hermits here. And I don't know if they'll go with an enhance just to have the madman. I don't know. It's not. They can only enhance into like supplies, which is fine. But it's not. It's a really not much of an increase in what their deck was doing. This was an unfortunate order here. I mean, I just gotta play this, and yeah, and of course we bottom deck the supplies as well. So that's cool. Yeah, that may be bad enough to be game losing, but which really sucks because I felt pretty okay. We could do an enhance of the hunter. This is nice at least. That was a pretty terrible draw. Maybe it's not that terrible on average. I mean, I still bought a plaza and trashed a card, so maybe I'm full of it. I could believe that. I'm full of it. Assume at some point you don't do the enhanced stuff just because it's not. I mean, maybe you keep doing it. It seems a bit wheel spinny to me. I need to get a Sacred Grove this turn. If the hunter isn't... I'm trying to think here. think if the hunter's in bottom decked, I can potentially. The hunter's not bottom decked, I can safely discard one to Plaza and still draw it. Well, assuming there's assuming there's a non-hunter action bottom decked. But I guess there's not much harm in going forward at this point. Which, of course, there's not that, but... so I can gain another hermit. See, the thing is, I can't... I don't think I could have done that anyway, but I can't... Well, with Hunter, there were some... If Hunter's not bomb deck, there's some more options that open up, but not with Hunter bottom deck. So the question is whether I chain a hermit to get just to have another hermit. And then maybe do an enhance instead. I don't know. I don't have a great enhance. That sucks. That super sucks, actually. I mean, I can get... I hate Hunter. I can get silver or supplies. Silver lets me save a coffer. Supplies obviously gives me a horse. Those are the trade-offs here. But if I bottom deck draw, then I'm just gonna lose. Also, they top deck marquee, I'm just gonna lose. It's just so much draw. I can get a marquee, of course. I don't really. My deck. I guess you get Plaza coffers out of it, is all. They're gonna win. There was a turn where I think I had a window, but no longer. It'll be a little weird. I guess probably the supplies will lower far enough that we have a 3 pile with the groundskeepers going. But it's going to be a bit of an odd finish here, I think. We're getting close to the point where the Puka will have outstayed its welcome. And we'll need to change it for a marquee. If we had like a really... Well, the hunter draw, I guess, can't be better than 2. I guess they're just doing big enhances, which I think is reasonable. Yeah, it's nice to do a horse. That's really nice. I quite like that play. Yeah, I already know what's gonna happen here, and I'm about to yell. It's just like, what can, like, you can't win a game. You can't win a game if this is where your draw is every turn. You just can't. Unfortunately. I don't even know. Can just buy the marquee now. Of course, now we don't have the villages. That's pretty bad. I mean, I like what JNails has done. I mean, that's not the issue. JNails has played it great, but you just can't beat them having their draw here and you having your draw in the bottom 3 cards. It just can't do it. They obviously at this stage had more outs. I mean, they had the 2 madmen and stuff, so it wasn't like they had to find the marquee, but or 3 madmen even rather. And then now at this stage, of course, the number of supplies being played is crazy. I mean, it's good. It'll give it, especially with the madmen and to some degree the marquee. It just gives them good shots of kicking off. But I just lost so much tempo on a couple shuffles. They will, they don't have enough buys for that. I was going to say that they'd probably be in range to win the next turn if they wanted to, but maybe don't really have the buys for that. I'm not sure what order I'm supposed to play all this in. I guess here we're gonna lose the. And I suppose I go ahead and draw the supplies and then play this grove last, but yeah, that's a strict benefit for them. Hooray! I mean, I don't think they need it, so it's not super impactful, but it's cool. It's still pretty cool. I mean, how many gains? They didn't increase their gains, I guess, which is nice. I mean, they have a couple hermits, right? Still, but they didn't increase buys, which is something that I can maybe. I don't really have the terminal space for that, though, do I? I mean, I can stop playing Hermit. Well, interesting. Do they have enough buys to do this? I didn't even count that. They only have 3 buys, right? I guess Grove could forest. Well, if Grove forest, then, you know, I mean, that's fine. That is a world I can accept. I'm willing to live in that world. As far as not playing around it goes, at least. I don't know. I don't know if they have $20 dollars if they get the. I guess they don't need $20. I guess it wouldn't work anyways. It wouldn't score. Well, yeah. The hermit could score them the points. The hermits could get the points. That wouldn't be a problem. So they didn't get forest, which is cool. Game doesn't end instantly. Give it another turn. They can lower the groundskeepers if they're willing to gain some estates. Right, I have 3 buys and then 1 potential estate gain. Or I guess the silver or copper curse, but you know, relevant. So they can lower the estates if they want. And buy like a groundskeeper. But if they lower the groundskeepers too much, they have to score. I mean, they have to score to mitigate that to some degree. Whatever that is. I suspect there's some amount of lowering and scoring they can do here that is completely safe for them. I guess nothing is completely safe, but you know, with the number of supplies, pretty safe. And some amount of lowering that I can't win and outscore, and they can finish off on their next turn. But they can also just, you know, score a little and like add in draw or gains and wait. You know, there's no. They didn't even have to lower per se. But they're gonna score a little bit here, which seems prudent. They have to discard a lot of cards. I don't know what they did discard. I'm a little. Maybe it was just a bunch of horses. Was it just a bunch of horses? I guess it must be. There are a couple in the trash, but 28 left, so 14. And I have 3, so they have 11 horses. That's a lot of. That's quite a few horses. So it was discarding a bunch of horses, I suppose. Well, that makes sense. There is some lowering that is not safe against like earth or forest for me, based on the number of points they got here. But if they score more points, then it becomes safe again. Did they draw? Maybe it didn't matter, but the order of these kind of looks a little weird potentially. And it may just be a thing that it didn't matter at all. But you could have played both the hermits right and then maybe had a little more money. I don't know. Maybe they played all their money anyway and it just didn't matter at all. I had to discard 9 cards though, right? 8. Yeah, and then I did. Yeah, they just. So they did. I think they shorted themselves money a little bit with this order. If I had to guess, I'm not completely sure though. Maybe it was always just the whole deck, and then you had to discard 9. But you could have had a. Well, if you wanted to, you could have held an estate. So they've played for the groundskeeper lower a little bit, and then they can do the 3 pile here. So if I get forest and I have 4 buys, if I can buy a province, that would be 9, and then an estate 4, 30. So that's still not sufficient. I don't know what point do I think I probably just have to play this. I don't know what I do exactly. I guess since the piles are already low enough, I can just go for scoring and see if they dud. Well, I don't know how much of a dud I need. Probably a fairly substantial dud. I already know that I'm going to play this and it's going to be marquee blank blank. I mean, it's going to be 3 actions. This is just, I just don't deserve it. I didn't do anything to hunt her. Now it's like a meme. There's like a video recording edit. I mean, that was pretty funny, but it's like, how many cards do I have? Oh, just 2. Well, this is all right, I guess. The moon. Oh, good. And they can, well, I guess they don't really have it. Yeah, they probably have a madman in there, right? Well, they at least have horses. They probably have a madman in there. That's just, I got the, I need to, this is a question for the audience. I don't care what your answer is. And this is a rhetorical question for the audience. How do I mentally reset under these circumstances? They're not even that bad. I mean, I've had much worse. Just the boons were just sort of they were irrelevant and still a slap in the face to me on a personal level. Because I am pretty sure they got to top deck a madman with that. I mean, they must have, right? Let's just get out of here. I don't even trust JNails. Whoops, we got resetted. Thanks, game. Is JNails going to rejoin or just kind of look at me? Don't know. You can click play. Thanks. The boons didn't matter, but they were insulting, right? The sun's gift and the moon's gift for them, you know. And now we have. Okay. I think, is Poorhouse playable here or not? It might be, but I still don't think you open it. Oh, I thought I turned it off. I thought I clicked the whatever. Now we have to. I don't want to read those people. I had nothing against those people. All right. I swear I clicked it on the. We'll have to consult the video. Maybe I messed it up. Maybe I clicked it twice. That's the most likely answer. I guess I'm gonna go Sentry. I'm kind of tempted to try and take a Poorhouse with it, but suppose I won't do that. JNails also has the 5-2. I thought I was getting a chance here, but thought wrong. Be interesting if you try like a replace instead of Sentry first, but I think you do the Sentry. There's some world where you get a nice, like, where the replace is nice, but You could only open, replace, or sentry, so I guess there's a bit of a decision point, but I'm not clear here on whether herb gather is any good. Don't know that the trashing or the don't know. It's probably worse than silver. Maybe it's not, but I don't feel like I care about control of that pile. I assume JNails failed to draw their sentry as well, since they're not clicking it. I can see a world where like Poorhouse is the payload here, just like Poorhouse Monkey. I mean, otherwise, what are you doing? You can maybe... I mean, if you want to go real fancy, you can try and do Augur stuff for gold gaining and replacing it. But I'm a little skeptical that that does that much. You're all buy or replace, I guess. Hopefully they didn't hit 5. Well, they probably hit 5. That sucks. That's the way it goes. Good sentry luck. I mean, I can't complain about that. So this is either Hostelry or a Devil's Workshop. I guess you can get the Devil's Workshop in a second. Both of us have gotten the trashing, which sucks. I want to be the only one with the trashing. I did get to keep the flag a little bit longer so far. Trying to think if there's like good gain in play stuff to do here. I should try to find more of the horses first before attempting that. I may just whiff on a horse, of course. And do like double replace. I mean, if there's a horse on top, we can do Flag Baron to replace silver into Hostelry, gain a bunch of horses, which would be cool. Or like silver into Devil's Workshop. Maybe we can draw that. But if we don't have horse on top, then it becomes a little bit crappier. We can go for the Devil's Workshop anyway. I guess we can. Well, no, because then we need to play it right away. Go replace Flag Bearer into Devil's Workshop to get the imp. I guess it depends on how much we think we need to start getting imps versus whatever other things we might accomplish. How many coppers do I have left? I think it's 2-2 down here, right? 2 coppers, so it's like a 50-50. Yeah. Let's go with getting the Devil's Workshop now. Oh, the Devil's Workshop doesn't go on top. I'm so stupid. Yeah, okay. I need to remember how replace works. So then in that case, I should have just done the 50-50. I could have gotten another replace out of this deal, but whatever. The imp is good. JNails does have a bunch of estates, which is okay now. I mean, obviously, you probably would have liked to trash them a little bit more, but JNails can replace them, which is nice. I don't mind doing this flag bearer fighting stuff. I don't think it's... I mean, it seems like I can probably keep up with it just fine, to be honest. There's Sentry, but Sentry not doing much now. So we could... I don't know, we don't have the... Okay, now we have it. What is the last card? How many horses did I gain? The copper. Okay. So the question is, do we go... up to replace? Draw, replace, go... We can't draw the thing. We probably want a marquee at some point. Still don't have a great... We would have liked to trash out more of these coppers this turn for sure. We need to get a marquee probably. We didn't add second replace, which would have been probably pretty nice. We need some way to fuel more expensive cards for the replace stuff, or we need to just pivot into getting some poorhouses for money, because right now our payload is just kind of stupid. That was a really quite fortunate sentry for them. This is actually kind of a wild sentry to hit that off rip, just off the top. It's kind of insane. Yeah, it's actually terrible for me. I don't know how to manage the payload stuff here. What does Enclave do? It's not crazy buy. If you had the money for it. I think I'm still a little bit ahead, but not comfortably ahead. I don't have a really clear image in my mind of what to do with the deck. It's kind of interesting to go heavier on the Devil's Workshop. That's an interesting take on it, I suppose. Their draw, I mean, they're drawn. It's something you can use later. So I guess this gives me some shot at nope. No, it does not. These two, I think the bottom two are coppers, right? I had 4. Yeah, I have 4 coppers, so I can't I can't do it. Gotta think. So we'll wait on trashing the Flag Bearer because of the I think I have an idea of what I want to do. I don't know if it's any good at all, but I do believe I have an idea. So the question is if I get 2 replaces or not. I also don't know if I exactly end up with enough actions to do this, but this felt a little too wheel spinny as well, but we'll see. We got to replace. We got a poorhouse. We replaced the horses we played. Or at least most of them. We got a hostelry. So I don't know. It was okay. The question is whether their Devil's Workshop stuff is like their double Devil's Workshop, whether that's making a difference. They still have an estate. They mostly, I don't know if their copper versus state trashing punished them a whole lot, or if they mostly were able to buy the things they wanted to buy, and in which case it was just like a boon for them. Probably it cost them at least some money on a turn where they would have liked to have more money. Seems fairly likely. I mean, if we get to trash the 2 coppers last turn, or even one of them, and we'd be in business. I don't know. Still don't really know what I'm doing at all, ever. Maybe JNails just stopped. Is that even possible? I guess you could have a bunch of Devil's Workshops in hand. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is that should help me quite a bit. I think for me, there's probably something to be said for getting a move on the provinces. At this stage. So we could get a horse now, or sorry, not a horse, a poorhouse now. Get the full money out of it. I guess there's risks of not trying, but let's see if we find an imp. This was pretty bad. I would have obviously, I bottom decked 2 imps, so that was kind of uncool of the deck to do to me. But so we could either go Enclave. If JNails draws deck, then they'll probably just trash the curses, unfortunately. Yeah, I am a little scared now. But oh well. The thing that would have been nice, I maybe should have thought about doing like Hunting Lodge something in the last turn, like Flagbear Hunting Lodge instead of Enclave. But I don't know. If I start scoring, my turn here, and I probably will, if I double province or even triple, if I have like credible threat to mill through and stuff, then we have reasonable, pretty good shot here, I think. They don't have a lot of money, so they're really just on the replace stuff, and they at this point don't have a huge amount of that. So they follow on the duchy, which seems pretty smart. I of course have a stupid, I probably should have played the sentry first, but I'm gonna be trying to do some mixture of replacing slash poor housing, which will be awkward, I'm sure. I do get to keep the I gotta think here. I have 2 poor houses, but they're not making more than I don't know if I can true triple. So then we probably just want to double and then, I don't know, add in some other. Maybe add in another poor house. No, that's not super good. Pretty sure we don't want this on top though. So where are we at? So there's still 2 coppers. So I still have copper, poor house, imp, replace, I believe. Maybe there's another hostelry in there. I may be missing something. Maybe we're counting imps, but so depending on the order we draw the poor houses, it is at least conceivable that we can do the triple. Then we would play for like triple plus mill. Or not triple, but you know what I mean. The next turn play for. Maybe you don't know what I mean. Fortunately, I'm not getting the imp action stuff all out. Can stop here. Or I could just do keep the gold. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't get all the imp action stuff played out. I maybe should have drawn on. I don't know, there were risks. But at this stage I can't really make it all happen. We could enclave again. We're also running out of horses, so the imps don't quite work the way you'd want them to. But potentially they're a little awkward. We may have to. There may have been a point where we could have replaced into a hostelry and it been okay. They must have missed some of their. Never mind. Would have just quick click that probably. Gains a marquee. Interesting. I should keep that in mind as a possibility. They still have very limited payload stuff. Okay. Things are getting scary now. For sure. The imps, of course, just are starting to look real bad. That's on me though. There's some window here where I had a chance to play this intelligently and I think I missed it. Unfortunately. I also didn't, we didn't find Sentry, of course. Okay, I'm just stupid. I don't know that that's correct. That might be super not correct, but. Yeah. And maybe it should have been a replace. Get the 5th replace. It's all getting a bit wacky now, to be honest. But I don't feel very good after that particular turn. I think they're going to play their marquee now, right? They have it in hand, don't they? I don't actually know that all this flag fighting we're doing is sensible in any way. But I still blame that turn where he just randomly got a double copper trash out of nowhere. And then on my turn I get a double action reveal when the 50% is copper. I guess the good thing here is that these replace plays are not super scary to me. They don't look too terrible. They must have a third gold in here somewhere, but The third replace is quite nice for JNails. I lost the thread of it all somewhere along the line. I think if I lower the provinces to like 4, 3, it's okay. Well, 3 might not be okay, but 4 should be okay, depending on what they take. Or, I mean, if they go double, I would be a little worried as JNails because there's a world where I just hit triple without too much issue. You can dance around the gains a lot here and then just totally fail to draw on a turn. There's probably, I don't know, to say that there might be a world where they fortunately their $3 here is pretty useless. Yeah, I mean, no, it's not. It's not doing so much there. Well, my problem, my issue is gonna be, what is the point? What do the points look like if I lower to 4, and JNails? If I lower to 4, JNails does 2 mils and then doubles +1. I'll lose, I think. So that won't work. If I take 3 true, I'll be at 3 true might work, but also they might catch me on duchies. They're going to be very sensitive to their draw order here as far as the hunting lodge and the marquee and stuff. If I hit true 3 and I go up to 32, maybe I get an estate or curse trash if I'm lucky. They go down to 10, but with reasonable shots of just being able to trash that. Then double would put them at 12. How many? Double and then the curse trashes would put them back to 24. And they would need 3 duchies to win. They maybe can do that. I had like an estate. Maybe it's just a tie. They do have to get all of that though. So we'll see. Of course, I'm a little bit living and dying by draws as well. This is so far very fortunate. I don't know. I could try to make the marquee allow a I guess I can also, no, Dutchy won't do much for me. I can try to make marquee allow me to do a curse trashing. I just don't know if it'll work out. I true triple though. I mean, if I can triple plus estate, that's interesting. That may make it just like too much of a pain. Well, we got good poor houses. Now I'm starting to wonder at what point we play the marquee. If you only get one estate trash out of it, well, you gotta think. There's some sort of trickery that you can probably do here. Well, just that the amount of cards may work out in your favor. It may be now where it works pretty cleanly. You go up here, and I mean, it's going to be still just a single trash, or you can put a province in there and try for the double trash. Well, I only have one. Right. Okay. I mean, I guess you can just give yourself the 50-50. I don't have 2 golds. Wow, it's a revelation to me. Who knew? Okay. We'll revise the plan. Fortunately, I don't think anything I did so far really depended on it too much. Well, let me think. We can maybe still get pretty close to double cash-wise. Let me think. We can get another $4 poorhouse. We get to play 3 more terminals, so that's going to be a little bit of a hard sell. I don't think I can touch the provinces, which is cool. Okay, I think I know what I would like to do. This gives us at least a curse trash. This doesn't really matter. I'm not going to take province. I guess I'm a little worried about there being a 3 pile, but maybe that's not worth worrying about. we're pretty far away from that. It would require replace chaining, which is maybe not impossible, but we could go. I'm still pretty confused. I hope that didn't open up a 3 pile. I don't know. That's quite a few points. It would have to be no. I don't think so. It would have to be like replace and duchy, which maybe, but I think unlikely. They do have some stuff they can do. I mean, I think it would definitely have to be in replace and duchy. We'll just hope. We'll hope it doesn't happen. I drew an excellent starting hand. Like a freakishly good starting hand. Obviously, I had the Hostelry on top, but still. I'll be very sad if if this allows a win right now, but I mean, good to JNails if he can find one here. Hopefully there's just not the actions for it. But it would be basically replace chaining into emptying duchies. But they may have the action space for it. I mean, you need the action space and the fuel, and you need to draw your draw cards in the right sequence, so it's not free at all, but they will be in an awkward spot though, because fortunately, I don't think they can get the provinces that super low, and then the other things that they would like to do will probably make duchy stuff more possible for me, assuming they don't just have a way to do it right now, which I didn't count everything out, and it could totally be there. They're going for it. Maybe I didn't need the third replace. I don't know. I still don't know what the action situation is. And the fuel. Because I don't know how many. The flag bearers are all gone. There are golds. Well, play herb gatherer. Play gold does not seem like it's the way to do it to me. So maybe I'm missing something. Because I would have thought you wanted the golds and the herb. I would have thought you just wanted to replace those things. But now they've just gone straight to Duchy on Century. So now I just think they probably just don't have it. There's a very confusing order there to me. That was all very, very confusing to me. They got me scared, and then, well, Provincetown to replace, of course, is scary unless it's terrible, but it didn't look completely implausible, so that makes it scary. But then the rest of it didn't look scary. I guess they just failed to find their things with the imps because they play the herb gather right off. I don't know about all this. Are they like actually full dudded now? Are they still going for it? Can it still work? I mean, it's got to be shuffle dependent with that. I mean, with the Hunting Lodge discard there, it has to be shuffle dependent at that point. I don't know what stuff. Maybe they do it. Well, now they're just playing for a dud, I guess. I don't even know if that's what you do if you were playing for a dud, to be perfectly honest. But I guess it's as good as anything that you would do in this spot, I suppose. Well, that was very strange. I mean, I know what he was going for. I guess he just didn't get the draw order to make it happen, and then he started doing some random stuff. But like the herb gather looks like you can never make it work if you do that. So I don't really follow that all the way, but so all I really need to do is just draw enough to mill the provinces away at basically the win condition now. I don't need to worry about other fancier, just 2 mil province by province works. So we just need to kind of find the stuff. Guess we could play a poorhouse now. It's probably okay. I guess this is it already in hand. They go down to 19, I go up to... There may have been a pile out for them. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a way to have it work. But thankfully, it didn't. I guess we go minion delve here. You might just do the cavalry. You might even, to be honest, you might open with the swap. I guess it's probably still the min. It's actually a little awkward. Some of it, because maybe you want a steward. I guess you could like just really believe that you have 2 coppers top decked and go try and do cavalry steward. You could just really wish that into existence. But I don't know. I mean, the minion is still pretty good. It's just the steward kind of the steward pacing there is a little bit. Maybe you go double silver steward. Obviously, you want to do cavalry swap stuff. Like there's no question there, but getting around to it, or what the fastest way to get there, isn't obvious to me. Yeah, so they have a similar. Well, actually, theirs is better because they can take the cavalry on the 5. And I think that would be like a reasonable thing to do. Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, the minion stuff is not nothing. Just the trashing of the state seems pretty important. Oh, I don't know. I'm not convinced by this. They may not even have the 2-5 actually. I mean, they may just have played 2 coppers to do delve because they wanted a silver. I don't know if silver whatever is an opening you would do here very much, but this is like all in tower points, right? It's just all about cavalry swap stuff into getting the minions, the swaps, and I guess the harbingers are like the least offensive thing you can pair that all with. I guess there's something. I'm gonna go ahead and buy a cavalry here, but there is something to be said for like, I guess thinking about doing a swap instead. You do have to hit 5 eventually. This is okay-ish. And maybe I should have just taken a swap. I kind of like, if you know you've played your steward for the shuffle as JNails, like I don't mind taking like the 5 a minion swap here. But I didn't want to risk not playing the steward at all. So then it looks a little bit different to me. Anyway, their turn was a little nicer. The poacher is a bit better than the poacher is a bit better than the harbinger at this point. Hopefully cavalry's on top. Otherwise we'll just, I mean, that would put me in a spot to compete, I think, if I get the horses. Otherwise, it's looking a little bit, I don't want to say out of range, but it depends on how their shuffle goes, for sure. I guess a lot of it depends on if they also have found cavalry, because the shuffles were kind of similar here, or whatever. Okay. I don't know that it's that useful for me to top deck steward. I'm just not actually sure. Because you actually are kind of interested in just buying a... I would have swung there, and rather than trash, I think. I would have swung on a cavalry buy, but... I could minion here. If I don't find the steward, it's kind of sad. But if I do find the steward, it's kind of awesome. You know, they probably have their... Do we get a silver? We do need to be able to buy some of these cavalries. We didn't get an estate trash, which would have been pretty nice. I think we wait. We may do it at some point, but I don't think there's the play. We got them maybe with a hit? No, not really. They may just take swamp, yeah. If they have another action, there's no reason to take the minion first. Yeah. That looks reasonably good. Well, unfortunately, my minion attack didn't actually slam them at all, so that's sad, but just the way this is gonna go, I guess. You do have to figure out a way to actually add cards to your deck, because I mean, cavalry's plus buy, right? But it's a little bit expensive. You probably do need horn somewhere along the lines here. Or I guess you need to start playing a cavalry. Probably would like to get one more steward trash in first. This was all pretty good. At some point you do probably just stop playing the... Well, you certainly stop playing the steward, but... The question is whether you go with the cavalry now to try and get a jump on... Probably want to trash one more time. What we need are ruins. I don't know if you go for the final trash or not. They're unfortunately getting to do the swap stuff now. And they may let them have that tower. They still have their steward, right? They haven't lost their steward yet. They haven't lost their minions either. I mean, you could just go... You could just take 7 of the swaps. You'd lose all your minions and stuff. You could do it. If you had a cavalry in deck and could play a horse, get 2 horses, then maybe it would be worth, but... And $8 makes it probably pretty nice. You can buy 2 cavalries or whatever. I mean, probably the second thing you buy isn't super material, just that it's an action card. It takes Skulk, which I'm not crazy about. Maybe it's okay. I mean, it's just whoever gets this turn to do the swap stuff first anyway is probably gonna win 100% here, so there wasn't really a lot of play available to me. I never had enough action cards, or I did this turn, right, but or at least a few. I mean, you still just buy they buy Steward. I would have probably bought Harbinger. There's still enough stop cards in the deck that you could get hit. I mean, you don't really get hit because it's treasures. So if you stop on treasures, you just buy a cavalry. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna lose, but I'm not totally in love with it. This is not a good 5-card hand either, and they just froze me on it like a prophet. I think I need to go a little bit... I don't know what the word would be, but... Or how I would describe what I'm thinking of here. I wonder if I do a Skulk. I mean, I can just gain minions. For sure. There's not a lot of other stuff for me to do here. Unfortunately. I mean, I've played my swap. The only thing here I could do is get the... is play the... I mean, I guess I don't know if the attack does anything to them. We could potentially have played the cavalry. You get a little bit of stuff here. Oh, I didn't draw it? I thought it was guaranteed, but of course it wasn't actually guaranteed. Well, probably still worth attempting from that position. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I don't... it was going to be one stoppish card on top anyway, so no matter how I tried it. So I think that was actually probably fine. There's some cute horn minion cavalry stuff you can do here. I really need more swaps to make full use of it, but it's just the way it goes. My really only out here is like, I don't even know if it's going to get to that point because I think the point differential will just be too much. But I was going to say my only out is like, they can't really full dud. They could have a handful of like horn and cavalry, I guess, and not have $4. Like maybe, I don't know. I play Skulk, they hit Envious. They somehow don't have $4 in their 4-card hand. Or any draw. Like it would have to be just like a full dud. And even then I don't know that I'll be able to make up the points on anything while piling out. Because like the pile outs won't score me much. The towers, like maybe I'm end up with more minions. Probably not by the end of this turn, right? So the points, like if I pile out hops, I don't know. They may just pile out right now also. That seems... I don't know why Harbinger, but I also don't know why cavalry. I don't know what they have left exactly, but it feels like you can draw and gain a little, get a little more out of this. So I don't quite follow all of those choices, but maybe I just am wrong about what they can still do. Because it certainly kind of felt like they could maybe do a little gain and play there, but I'm trying to think if there's like a world where I can pile out horns and cavalry. I don't think there is, but what a world it would be, you know. What a world it would be. This is kind of a depressing starting hand into a hand which is still depressing. Maybe the play there was to get some of the treasures out. This is just not playable. We need to swap with those cards in my previous hand, and they were not there. So now we gotta play for full super dud, I guess. I mean, the swap's unlikely to even do anything. I mean, I'm okay with losing this game. I play for dud. I gotta think what that means. As far as the rest of my buys go, the swap, like this sequence was so bad. I mean, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I lost, but it was still like terrible, terrible, terrible. I don't think money does much for me, though also the draw doesn't do much for me. Oh, okay. Well, that's the thing. My swap stuff is just very do nothing at this point. You get envious. That's the start, right? That's the world I need to be living in. No, unfortunately, swap with like any other action card. They'll just cavalry and draw some stuff. That's assuming they don't already have an out in hand, which seems very possible. I don't know if I would have swapped the minion. It just depends on what you have, I guess. I don't know. It was lost after the one turn. There's nothing for me there. Well, hopefully we can pull out a couple or at least one more win to just avoid demotion. At this point, the playing in the championship match isn't terribly likely. But if we win out, there's some chances of that. We have goons, but no. village, but plenty of draw. Probably sufficient trashing to ignore swamp hag in favor of gains pretty heavily. I don't know if I'll take raise or just silver. I'm not even sure exorcist is correct, but I mean, you don't have to play goons as your terminal here, but I would. But you could have more than one terminal for a little bit. You could get a marauder and then exorcist it later. That's also totally fair. I think I'll do raise here and then buy silvers. I guess if you get pretty trashed out, you can like get the destrier just via playing a monkey, or like have a wisp hit plus some monkey, or just having the. I don't know that exorcist is the play here at all, to be honest, but. And I'm not sure about raise either. But obviously trashing nice. If the fours were a little better. If the fours were, well, this sucks. If the fours were a little better, it would be somewhat different. Because then the pushing towards silver would be a little stronger. I'm not in, well, I don't know what they had in hand. Kind of like silvers though. Well, this isn't, I guess I could double patrician. Gain wisp. I guess a trash copper actually. I mean, we could try to find the other state, but it's a little bit wonky. This will be goons. And I'll trash the estate. I mean, do they have money to get to 6? I guess they can do. They're just cleaning up. I mean, if I hit them now, we're in a bit of a different world. They may have a hard time just getting there. So the question is, do I go like patrician raise or do I go forum? I kind of like getting the patrician. So now it's going to be tough for JNails to get. I mean, if I play the goons forever, I don't know what JNails does. They can trash out, but I mean, if enough of the wisps hit, they can maybe get there. Maybe. I don't know. If I play goons the next couple turns, it looks rough. They still don't have silver. I think surely they have to buy silver. Maybe I should have hit form rather than Destrier, just to focus on playing the goons one more shot and then have a Via to trash in. I'm not sure. I do wish I had the wisps, but it's okay. They can go like Copper Destrier. Yeah. Well, if the goons is up there, and probably we still just need to. I guess they'll be able to buy goons this turn. They're probably drawing enough here. Whether that's enough to catch me, I don't know. Depends on this turn, I suppose. And we just never go anywhere, so we just fight over the Destriers and the Emporiums, and then you don't have extra buys. You can buy Forum plus whatever, but and if I'm at 10, do I go Emporium Destrier? Do we go for a trash? Probably Emporium Destrier, right? I mean, I need the draw at this point. They're gonna attack me. That all they did? That wasn't very good. This is like, so I mean, this is the only chance for a patrician hit, so we might as well play it. We didn't find Exorcist, or we didn't draw around Exorcist. We would have needed a bunch of Emporium hits, or Patrician hits, I mean. There's so little scope for like playing outside of what we're doing too, unfortunately. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, add a goal? I mean, there's not like even like a Hail Mary play. You just kind of play the hands and see if they draw a little bit or not. And then if they do, then if I keep drawing the goons and drawing some cards, then JNails will just lose. There's no way to increase gains. There's no good ways to increase money. Except by just, an Emporium at a time. How much money would I need to have before I could go Forum Emporium Destrier? That would cost 14. So what am I at now? 11. $12. Guess I do. Do I care a lot about the Destriers? Or do I just go double Emporium? Well, okay. So the question is whether that changes what... They can't get $10, right? So they can't double Emporium anyway. So I can... It doesn't change the number of Emporiums I get. So it should just be done this way to be a little safer. Like, the only thing you can do to up your gains is buy gold and then do forum stuff, which is fine. But it won't matter. I don't think they have $10. I didn't actually count it out, but I don't think they have $10. So then what do I start doing? Just going like, once the Destriers and the Emporiums are gone, we just start doing like forum double raise. Over and over until the raises are gone. Like, JNails almost has to try and buy a gold or something, but it doesn't do anything. Yeah, there's Ghost. I did forget about Ghost. I pretty much universally always forget about Ghost. For whatever reason. Not the best thing to have be true of your play. So what do? You get Ghost and then you go for a double goons? So I can either do Emporium, trash the Emporium. I did kind of forget about that, but we can remember it now. This is a little scary. This was my punishment for not buying Destry, I suppose. I do still have a lot of points. But I could dud here. Or pseudo dud. What am I at? Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of treasures. I don't know if it'll lose, but it wouldn't be good. Seem they kind of have to get another ghost. They don't get another ghost, okay. Well, that was fortunate. That was okay. This is the point where I have to admit that I complain too much about my shuffles, even though they're often quite good. Regularly quite good. So we go goons and then we do a goons Destry on top. Because if I dud there, I might lose. They didn't get another ghost, so it's kind of not exactly that scary, but I don't know if they can lower at all. I don't know, they can buy province, but it doesn't matter. I'll just triple raise Destry and then probably get a forum too, and then have way too many points and like no shot of dudding because I'll play ghost. There was probably a turn earlier where I could have not played an Emporium and gotten the ghost. But like I said, I didn't remember ghost existed. Yeah, I'll do as many forums as I can afford. A couple to 3 raises and a Destry. How much does ghost cost? None of it costs enough to hit except the copper. Yeah, there's not really a reason to We have 14. Do we get those down to 0? 1, 2. We need another $1. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that costs. Maybe I just can't afford to do 2 forums. That's okay too. Not a big deal. I don't know what they're playing this out for, but because it's actually already in hand by the ghost play. Sometimes I guess you just want it to keep going. Don't know. Well, or you play to this point in your turn and then decide. I mean, I've been there. I've done that. All right. Well, this at least makes me feel better about not demoting. If we win this last one and Kazu does really bad in their match and nobody else, I mean, we could be the person in second place against. If everybody ends up pretty clustered to the middle, with a win here, we could maybe make the finals. But it wouldn't even be and a 14. I think Cider has 14 or 19. I think Cider is 19, and this would, if I win this, I would be at 17. So if you make the finals in that spot, it's not really even very bad because 4-2 still just wins. It wins the tiebreaker. So it's not really a bad position either. But that depends on Kazu. And I mean, it just depends on nobody else kind of spiking up above it. And there are enough unplayed matches that there are multiple candidates in A to do that. At least mathematically possible. Some more and less likely. But yeah, like 2 behind in the going into the championship match, if you have, if you tied them in the regular season or whatever, or at least, did well enough against them in the regular season that you win the tiebreaker on the 4-2 is pretty okay. Gives you a real fighting chance anyway. I actually don't remember now if the what the rules are. I think at one point I advocated for there being a tiebreaker game 7 if that happens. But I don't remember if they changed the rules. So maybe the rules have changed and it doesn't even work that way. But I guess we may not find out, but we could find out if we loaded up the page with the rules to the league. I don't know where you go here. I guess gear something. I don't know what though. Maybe I have Puka. It's okay. You could probably go pretty fast here. But you can also probably go pretty fast in the other directions too. Fast money, I guess, is what I'm referring to. I don't know if the trashing is really good enough to get you there here versus the money deck. It's not clear to me. There's certainly enough like payload and stuff that it could go. I'm going to try the money thing. Which might be bad. we'll find out how bad exactly. You're just trying to put a little pressure on them. They're taking the cursed golds. Isn't super good. Or the curses. Obviously we do this. This was bad draw, but they're taking a lot of curses. I guess I could take exploration. They're going for exploration, I suppose, expand stuff, which is pretty nice here. I'm not drawing super good. I'm a little surprised you don't take another trash with the puka, but maybe you have enough terminals you want to play. They are getting a lot of curses. They don't have... I'm actually pretty surprised at the... I guess it's possible they didn't draw any of them. I don't know. And I gotta get masterminds. I'm gonna buy provinces. They didn't even buy anything. So like, what are they? What are they even doing? What should I buy? I could go... I could get an exploration here. I don't know if that's any good. Could also get a flag bearer. They're probably a little better suited to doing flag bearer stuff than me, but it may be awkward at times for them. Not sure. They really need to gain and play a mastermind if they can. That's kind of critical, I think, for their turn. I'm not sure that flag bearer makes any sense, but what I came up with. Playing the expand 3 times. Okay. Guess they don't have puka. Not even being up to the point of alternating mastermind plays yet is pretty bad. They may still crush me. Super crush me, but there's something to be said for getting a gear here, but I'm a little afraid of it. I basically just got... Well, the flag bear's okay. My deck is not terrible. Okay, well, what do I want? More vision here, or do I want... Okay. This is not gonna hit. Well, it could with the... Could with the thing, I guess. I don't know why I didn't do the coppers, but I guess that's what I chose to do. It looks like a bad play. I feel like my draws have been kind of bad, but also probably what I'm doing is just super losing. Feels like the sculptors have been a little bit. The sculptor gear sequencing seems like it hasn't been super friendly. But I could be totally full of it. I guess they have enough terrible stuff that there's like some world where they get it kind of awkward finishing. No. But maybe it's just not that awkward. I don't know how good they will be at holding duchies. But I expect they just beat me on the straight province finish. If I had to guess. They still have 2 coppers, 2 puka trashes, 2 easy puka trashes. I don't know if they'll try to get Sculptor Trove or not. This is honestly not doing that much. Oh, they have a sculptor. Okay. This is not doing a huge amount of stuff. Okay, so you got to think here if we do the save the flag bearer, play on with it. Guess we get to play on here. Okay. We get a set aside. We gotta take province, unfortunately. We just have to do it. It was an okay shuffle, though. JNails' deck is very weird. I don't think it can quad the next turn. Well, it may be like technically possible, but I don't know that it's super likely. I'm a bit surprised that none of the gears are being played as themselves. Like you're gonna have extra actions here, right? Maybe not. Maybe not. The JNails can probably quad next turn. I mean, I guess if they just have $8, they can just buy one, and when I buy one, they can triple easily. I don't really think the Trove made much sense in lieu of just playing Sculptor as something. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't know that I agree with it, but this was very lucky for me. Presumably, JNails just wins this turn quite easily. Because they have 1, 2, 3, 4 $5 cards and a gold. So as long as they can pair up. I mean, if they don't have draw kind of at the ready, then maybe they're in a little bit of trouble. Though, to be honest, yeah, I mean, like, what kind of draw would it even have to be that they can't, just because they get to pig so much stuff? I don't think it's really feasible. Oh, I also forgot to count the Sculptor, but I'm sure this will put it in hand with 6 expand plays. So the questions are like, does what I did ever get to province like a turn sooner, or to 5 provinces like a turn sooner? And even if it does it matter? That I don't, probably not. Probably doesn't matter. All right, well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be playing match Topher tomorrow for the Finals of Allies release if you want to watch that. But take care. Catch you all later.